Vaughn. Uh, Given your last year's injury and this year's salary, how surprised are you to still be on the Broncos?
I'm not surprised. I'm happy to be here. I mean, I'm not surprised about that. I'm excited to be with the guys. Just to be honest, man, it just feels good to be in the locker room and just joke with the guys and just be in the mix again. Have grass up underneath my cleats and have my helmet on, so it feels pretty good.
Go ahead.
Did he say me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Vaughn. Last year it seemed like you got in the best condition of your life. You worked out like a fiend. You were dominating in training camp, and then you didn't get to the starting line. The ankle blew out. How difficult was it to start all over again and go through this whole process again?
I think the mindset that I created last year, I don't think it was just like a 1-year thing for me. I think it was like it was a new, version of myself. So, the same, intensity and the same work ethic that I had last year, I just refocus, reload, and do it again this year. It's same stuff, different year.
Go ahead, George.
Yeah, Vaughn, could you just speak to maybe how crazy this last offseason's been and maybe some of the discussions you had with George Payton? I mean, was there ever a moment that maybe it crossed your mind that you weren't going to be a Bronco? I know they waited to the last minute to pick up your option. Was there ever a moment that you thought maybe you wouldn't be back at Denver?
No, I always had like an internal faith that I would be here. I said a long time ago that I don't want to be a Bronco for life. And I always felt like that, even though the business and all of this stuff. And, I always felt like, this was home and this is where I was going to end up. And, I'm an optimistic guy. You guys all know this. I'm an optimistic guy. I always feel like, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to be the best defense, this and that. I always feel like that. And that same optimism I brought into, this offseason. I always felt like I was going to be a different Bronco. I always felt like I was going to come back.
Go ahead, Troy.
Vaughn, good to see you. Coach Fangio was saying that when you get to, he has no doubt you can be the player you were 4 or 5 years ago. It's just when you get into your 30s, it's harder, you have to work harder. Can you get back to where you were last training camp, or do you have to adjust based on the injury? And secondly, that Kobe mindset and that Jordan inspiration, is that the guy we're going to see then in training camp?
Yeah, I mean, it never left. Like I said before, that mindset that I created last year, it was a permanent, thing. It wasn't, a one-season thing. I felt like last season was going to be the season, but I feel like this season is going to be a great season too. And I just, refocus, had the same fire, had the same intensity, and just grind it out. I'm still running around here beating everybody else. So I feel like, 30 what? It's, until I see, otherwise, and I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep going.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Vaughn, just going back to the question about the offseason. I mean, George Payton at one point even said they were waiting on this Parker police investigation to see what happened there. And I just wanted to hear from you. Can you walk us through that process, or were you concerned ever, or what was going on with you at that level?
Oh, yeah, I just, we wanted to get everything resolved and, great, hopefully and gratefully we got everything resolved and, everything is done and we're just focusing on football right now. And that's all it is. Geez, Jeff, I thought that would be a question that Troy would ask me or something like that. I didn't think, Jeff is going to give me
I just, we haven't heard from you since the end of the season. So
I know everything's
on a
resolved.
personal level. I mean,
everything's resolved and I'm in a great place to, really put all that stuff behind me and just focus on football, to be here with the Denver Broncos for another year, be around my teammates, joke with all the guys. And I tell you what, some of these guys are uglier in person. You see all these guys on Instagram and when they announce they're coming to our team, but when you see them in person, they're like, these guys are ugly, man. So it's good to be around them and joke and do all the funny stuff in the locker room.
Go ahead, Eric.
Vaughn, the team also picked up Bradley's 5th-year option, and you guys could be on the field together for the first time since 2018. What are your hopes for what you two can be here in Vic's defense?
I just want to do the best that we can. I've never been a guy to put, numbers on stuff and, say we want to do this, do that. I just want to perform to the best of, our ability. And that's, I always get nervous before games in practice, not because of, the teams that we're playing or, not being prepared, anything like that. I just want to perform to the best of my ability. And I want to do the same thing with me and Chubb out there. We just want to go out there and do what we're supposed to do, live up to our potential, and perform to the best of our ability.
Go ahead, Arnie.
Yvonne, good to see you. Yeah, I know you wanted to come back and play in December. That was your goal. And then when that didn't happen, was that just a matter of, being cautious, not wanting to set you back going into the offseason? And secondly, do you have complete faith now in the ankle? Is it completely healed, no issues?
Yeah, I probably couldn't. To be honest, the way I'm feeling right now, like I can play now. Like I don't think I could have played in December. I think that was just my mind, like my mind just getting in the way, delusional. Because that way I was feeling in December, I don't think I could have went out there and been the type of Vaughn that I know I could have been. I probably could have just, went out there, but that's not what we needed. But feeling how I'm feeling right now, I feel great. I still got a little bit more to go, but that little bit to go, I had to get that on the football field. Everything that I could possibly do in physical training, rehab, and working with Vince and all the guys in the training room, I've done that to the max. And this last little bit, I had to get on the football field.
Go ahead, Brand.
Hey, Vaughn, I got two for you. First one, you said everything's good off the field. It seems like you're pretty excited about becoming a dad and how close you are with your dad. Tell us about that.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited. His name is Valor, short Val, Vaughn, and my little brother's name is Vince. And I'm excited, man. I get to show him how to be a great quarterback, and show him all my drops, and I get to show him all the great stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to do the same stuff that I did with my dad, with my son, and it's super exciting, man. It all just boom came last year. We were talking about Kobe and Jordan and all the kids that I had on this team, and now I have an actual biological son. So I'm pretty excited about that. It'd be cool. And then in another year, I've been seeing these guys out at training camp with all their sons and their daughters running around in the grass, and I'm excited to do all that stuff. It won't be this year because it'd be too young, but hopefully next year I can get all those moments in with Val.
Well, and then we saw where Rod Smith, who wasn't your teammate, talk to the team. We're getting close to some of your teammates being the old timers coming out, but how was it having Rod out there today?
Man, it was great, man. It's whenever you get the vets in, they always tell you, and the older I get, those words they just hit harder and harder every single time. And he said something about a lot of these guys, you don't know when you're gonna put on your cleats for the last time. And I remember when I got hurt last year, I just had these memories, and dang, like I was sitting on the turf and I was like, bro, is this it? Is this my last play as a Denver Bronco? And I grinded and I worked hard to kind of put that away, and I never take that for granted. Every time I go out there, I feel blessed, and it just means so much more to to fight back from injury, especially this late in my career, to fight back from injury and get out on the football field and be back and be present. So it means so much more, and all the words that Rod Smith said to us today, they just hit home, And whenever the vets come and talk to us all the time, it really just, you feel it. But now it's like, okay, now you see yourself in Rod, and Rod sees himself in me. And, I just want to play to the best of my ability and just live up to my potential,
Guys, time for a few more. Next one.
Hey, Vaughn, a couple of things. First of all, Teddy said that you've chatted with him a couple of times over the last couple of weeks. What are your first impressions of Teddy and how he's going to fit here?
I've been a football fan my whole entire life. Even when I was in the league, I've been a football fan. I'm constantly, scouting guys, looking at guys. And when we got Teddy, I felt like that was a great move. Teddy's ready to come in and play. Teddy's ready to come in and compete. And I think that's what we need in the quarterback position. And I'm not saying that this guy's going to be the number one guy, this guy's going to be number one. I'm not saying that yet, but we have a healthy quarterback competition that can only give us positive things out that group. And, Teddy's been a great vet for a long time, and he's been able to play and lead his teams to wins. And, it'd be great to have him in there with Drew and, Brett Rippon and just, push the guys. So I'm excited. They got a lot of weapons on there. They got Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, all of those guys. Noah Fant is my favorite guy on the team. I want to tell y'all guys that Noah Fant, I'm super excited about this guy. He's buff, he's strong. He's going into year 3 now, and he just looks like a beast. And I was excited when we picked Noah, you can kind of see everything coming together for Noah and Alberto. Both of those guys, you can kind of have that Aaron Hernandez, Gronkowski type of, 12 package with those guys. You got Jerry Jeudy and, Cortland Sutton. I know I'm digressing off of Teddy, but, I like what we have over there, and Teddy will be the guy that'll push that quarterback group.
And secondly, I mean, Teddy talking about you reaching out to him. I mean, we've heard that from so many guys over the years that you're the one who kind of reaches out to him, makes him feel welcome. So as a leader and someone who's been here now going into his 11th season, how do you feel that as far as your role being somebody who makes sure that everybody feels welcome?
Man, you can't even put up every year I remember a couple of years ago we were talking about leadership. Like, could Von be a leader? Could this and that? And just every year is just so much more that you just evolve to, and you just start to notice and you start to pick up. And I guess that just comes with playing the league 11 years. If I got a guy coming in my team, I want to reach out to him. I want to make him feel like hey, like this is your team. We want you here. That can only bring positive stuff. It's true. It's real. And I want the guys to come in here and feel comfortable so they can go in here and compete. When they compete, we do good. And if the Broncos doing good, I'm doing good. So we're all kind of tied into this thing together. And, I just want to win and compete. We lost to the Kansas City Chiefs 5 years in a row. I want to change it. I try to change it. And, you got to be a great teammate. You got to be a great leader to get us over the hump.
Final two, Sean and Kyle.
Hey, Vaughn, you talked about Rod coming and having to think more about the business side of this game as you progress as a veteran. With new GM, some new faces here, how do you feel about this being a prove-it year for you? Do you look at it as a prove-it year for you coming off last year, and how do you kind of approach that mindset?
Right before I go, man, you guys just come up with some crazy ones. I never said that Rod Smith made me think about the business. I said that what he said, it hits home for me. But to answer your question, it's football, man, and I just want to take advantage of every opportunity that I get, and without giving any clickbait or hot topics for you guys. Man, I just want to play football. I didn't get to do it last year. It means a lot more. Football has always meant so much to me, and it just has a different feel to it, whether that's a prove it or whatever you guys call it. Every time I walk out here, I feel like I got to prove something. It's not to you guys. It's not to, the GMs or anybody like that. It's to myself. I love this game. I want to be a great, feel about Kobe and Jordan and the type of, guys that they were in their sport. I want to do the same thing for my guys and my teammates. And, the time is now. I've been working hard. I've been grinding. I've been doing everything I possibly can do off the field to be a great player on the field. And, all this stuff starts to come together, it'll be great. That's all I think about. That's all I do is work out and think about football and my son. And, hopefully it'll show this year.
Last one, Kyle.
Hey, Vaughn, acquisitions of Fuller, Darby, Surtain in the draft, how does that kind of make you more optimistic? And what do you like about those guys, how it's going to help you and Bradley up front?
Man, this Patrick Surtain this PS2 guy, he's the real deal, man. It's a couple of times where I look over my shoulder, like just to see who's out there at receiver, left and right, checking offensive formation. And I see this guy standing out there. I'm like, bro, this guy's taller than me. Is he supposed to be inside? He's supposed to be rushing, right? This guy's supposed to be rushing. He's the real deal. He's a specimen. He has great feet. I've seen, Kyle Fuller throughout the years, playing football. I know what type of player he is, but this Patrick Surtain, too, seeing him up close and personal, man, he's the real deal, and I'm excited to see what he can be able to do versus all these receivers that we have in our division. All these receivers throughout the league that we had to play and we had to match it with. The more DBs that we have, the better we'll be. And we're definitely stacked in this room. It's definitely a huge difference from what we had last year. Scrapping for DBs to now, we just got a whole room flooded full of top DBs. So it's great. It's great. It feels good. I played with great DBs before: Chris Harris, Aqib Talib, Dorian Stewart, T.J. Ward, and this feels like the resurrection of the no-fly zone. The no-fly zone 2.0. We got Patrick Surtain, Justin Simmons, Kareem Jackson, Kyle Fuller, Bryce Callahan, and the list goes on. We got a whole bunch of young guys too, PJ Locke, and all those young guys too that's ready for the opportunity too. So, being a pass rusher, DBs, they're my best friends, out there. So we got a lot of them in there. It should be fun.